Zoe, this dish would have to be a classic.
Yeah.
One of the all-time old-fashioned puddings that people have been making for centuries. It uses some day-old bread, and you need to use bread that's at least a day old because you need it to be nice and firm, and a whole lot of berries. Now, you can use fresh berries, which I've got some of them, and some frozen berries.
Okay.
Often something that I do when I buy a lot of berries in, as soon as they get a little bit soft and bruised, pop them in the freezer and then you can make coulis or this dish.
Such a good way, because obviously berries can be quite expensive, so it's such a great way to keep using them, keep having them in different types of dishes.
You don't have to waste a thing. That's what we're all about.
That's exactly it.
Now, in this pot, Zoe, I've got about 250 grams of sugar,
Yeah.
and I added about a half a cup of water and brought that to the boil, so it's going to be nice and hot. And to that, I'm going to add these cherries, about 250 grams of cherries, and I've got some boysenberries here.
Beautiful. Have one?
Nice little frozen ones. They've got a little bit of tartness to them. Yep. And I love the cherries. I made sure I took the pips out of the cherries, and they're frozen ones. So, I mean...
That's always a good idea.
If you do use fresh cherries, though, I like to stew them just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that breaks them down a little bit. And I've got some raspberries. In go the raspberries, about 250 grams of them. Make sure you get all the juice out of them as well.
I mean, that is an antioxidant power booster in a bowl. Maybe
like
not
that.
the sugar in it, but anyway.
I think if you put some yogurt, take the sugar out of it, add some yogurt to it, and you've got a cracker. And I've also got some blueberries here, nice punnet of fresh blueberries. These are all the berries you find at summertime. And I put them in there. You can see the liquid's nearly come to the top of it. Yeah. And what that'll do, that'll come back to the boil in a minute or so and simmer away, and that'll sort of break down the berries a little bit. Okay. Now, over there, Zoe, I've got some strawberries. Yeah? Strawberries are one of the things I always put in at the end because they do break down, and I like to keep them a little bit firm. So what I'll get you to do is just cut them in half and then pop them back into the bowl, and then we'll add them to this when it's come up to the boil. Lovely. I'll step ahead. I've got some lovely white bread that's a day old, and I've cut a nice big square. And what I'm going to do with the sides of it, I've cut it into little triangles like that. I'm just going to line it around the sides. And when you do this, Zoe, you've got to make sure you overlap it. Because if you don't, you'll have berries coming out of the side. It's actually the bread that sort of holds it all together and thickens it all up.
My grandma used to make this dessert, and I know that she used white bread, and she used heaps of sugar, and there was heaps of cream, and I loved it as a kid.
It's pudding, it's dessert, it's there to make your life happy. That's what it's there for, and it doesn't matter how much sugar in it. Now, this is going to take about a minute or so to come back up to the boil, and then we'll finish this one off. That's come to the boil now, and you can see it looks delicious, that beautiful colour there, and it's sort of thickened up a little bit as well. Throw the strawberries in. I want to keep them nice and firm. You could put them in at the start, but I think they're much better when they go in right at the end here like this.
Beautiful.
Now, what I'll do is, look at the colour. It's fantastic.
It is a wonderful colour, and for me, you know, I think colour is just so important when it comes to nutritional value of food. It's got to be good. I mean, I know Adrian put a heap of sugar in. I probably would put a lot less sugar, but that is the difference between Adrian and I.
There we go. Now, I know that I've got a lot of liquid in there and it'll soak up around the sides. What we're going to do is put a few of these pieces of bread just around the corners there, just to fill out those last little bits there.
Lovely.
There we go. Just put that around there. Yep, fold that in there. And we want to overlap it a little bit. Then we can just push these little pieces in at the side here, and that'll push it down. Now, what I do, Zoe, is I've got a plate here.
All right.
I'll just tuck that in underneath there. So I've got all those pieces. I've got a plate, and I'll push it down.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, you push it down just a little bit, and you can see around the sides the cooling. Actually, that's exactly what's happening. All the liquid and the juice from the berry is starting to bleed into the bread. The bread will soak up all the juices. It'll have a beautiful colour on it. It'll set beautifully. All the berries through the middle, the bread on the outside. We'll have this with some coulis and some cream and a bit of mint. This will be a cracker. Have a look at that, Zoe. I'll just take the plate off. Oh, look at that.
It looks really impressive. I mean, I know it's going to be really sweet and obviously, you know, full of white bread, but...
That's what makes it impressive for me, because it is sweet. Now, it is going to be messy a little bit when I take the cling film off. You'll see a little bit of the coulis around the outside, but I'll just pop that over here. What I'm going to do is just cut straight into it like that. I'm just going to cut... Oh. And I use a small serrated knife because I think you sort of need to slice through those berries that are there. Now, let's hope I can get this out nice and neatly. all in one hit. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
See that? I'll just put that on the
Stunning,
side
isn't
there like
it?
that.
Yeah, I'm dying to get into it.
It's sort of, you know, the bread makes it the pudding sort of,
Yeah.
gives it a pudding flavour. I've got a little bit of coulis, some blueberry coulis with some excess blueberries I had with a bit of sugar and, of course, a nice big dollop of cream. Imagine not having any cream with it. Oh, it's so
You have
thick,
to have
that cream.
cream with pudding. I do love yogurt with pudding, though, as well, but, you know, that's just me.
How about yogurt ice cream? I'll meet you halfway. How's that? A little bit of mint on there, and you can see it's a cracker for dessert. It's a nice, easy one. Nice and summery. You could see yourself taking this to a picnic or to someone's house, turn it out, and off you go.
Yeah, it's a simple way to, you know, make it quite an impressive dessert.
Oh, I love it. Just a little bit of cream on there, a bit of bread. Some berries.
The berries are absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's not many people I know who don't like berries. This tastes delicious. Like I said before, just a tad too sweet, but that's easy to remedy. I reckon you could use a wholemeal type bread. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it.
I love it with white bread, but you know what, Zoe? I think this is very, very good.